Hello, sir.
So I just saw a John Denver tribute act. He was wonderful.
Was he?
Tom Becker, but he did a bit where he was singing John Denver songs as Kermit.
That's great.
Country Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High, or something like it was. I don't know what he was doing. It was like Country Road. I thought it was fat. I don't know why. I think he was smoking a bit before the show, and he had a moment. It was great though. But if you're out there in the world and you've ever seen Tom Becker's John Denver tribute show, he's wonderful. His wife is wonderful, but his band is fabulous too, and they're such nice guys. His guitar player played with Chubby Checker. Anyway,
there you go.
Best deals.
Best deals ever. Deals and steals.
Of Jonathan and Baxter's history.
I only really have one amazing one.
Let's just start off with your amazing one.
So one day, I'm walking around the beautiful town of Charleston, South Carolina, where I resided. I was in a Gretsch phase in my life.
As we all should go through Gretsch phases.
I had a nice Korean-made Gretsch.
Awesome.
But it was a special edition. It was like red and had like little Dynasonic pickups, not the regular Filtertronic things that are in the Korean ones. So I'm going into pawn shops, as I used to do, looking for steals and deals.
Back before like pawn shops became impossible to find deals on.
So I walk in, and there on the wall is a really cool Gretsch. Now, back then I had very limited knowledge, and the internet was different. But I immediately saw the two switches up on the upper bout kind of horn part.
Yes.
Because I was like, okay, that means because none of the Electromatics had that, right?
No.
So and there were no like player series and stuff back then. So I was like, oh, if I see two switches, this is the real deal Gretsch, right? Okay. So I wanted to look at it, and I did. I did not know, that it was supposed to have fake F-holes, which it did. It was a Tennessee Rose.
Okay.
The thin one, I also did not know that all the fancy Gretches were made in Japan at that point. So I was like, I think you guys are trying to get me. So I go home, I do some research, I figure out both those things are right. I go back with my Korean Gretsch.
Okay.
And I think I gave them my Korean Gretsch and $200 and walked away with a really nice
with a
professional series.
Because they didn't realize that they were getting Electromatic type style.
Probably not.
Okay.
I just said, here, I'll give you this guitar. And they're like, how about $200? I was like, yes.
Your great deal is more like a swindle.
It was not a swindle. I didn't say anything.
It's a pawn shop. All is fair and good. The local pawn shop, which I love, the one of ours, like I love them, but we sold a guitar to a guy, and like for I think $1,000, and I saw that they have the same guitar that we sold him at the pawn shop for like $1,400. I thought that was sort of funny. That's a little bit sketchy to me. But
yeah,
I don't know.
To be fair, I did not really know what the Gretsch was totally worth. I knew I was getting a good deal. I didn't realize how good a deal I was getting.
My favorite, like I've had multiple ones of great deals. Like I have a bunch of guitars that I've gotten for insane deals if you think of it today, like for what they're worth now. But my favorite steel it's a little lap steel I have. It's a Harmony lap steel that has like the little amp that goes with it.
Nope.
I don't have the amp, just have the lap steel, but it works. It sounds great. It looks cool. It's like going like the piece of particle board almost with the the plastic body and like some metal pieces and the painting. It's beautiful. I paid 25 cents for it at a garage sale.
It's a really good deal.
This is a long time ago, children out there in the world, but it's still one of my favorite things I have. I've never restrung it either.
That's amazing.
And I've had this thing for probably 20 years.
That's awesome.
I think it was cool. Like now, other deals that I've found, not at guitar stores. Like it was back in the day before like everything was crazy a little bit. So at least like 10 years back, a lot of my Gibson Les Pauls, like I paid under $1,000 for most of them.
There you go.
And these are like 70s Les Pauls. So those are pretty good.
That's pretty good
deals. And like SGs.
Yeah.
And they might have a headstock break or something on them, but they're worth substantially more now. But see, I'm a weird guy. Like I love getting a good deal. Who doesn't like getting a good deal? But
you're not a Turner. You're not like a flipper.
I'm not a Turner. I'm just gonna hang on to it.
You're probably gonna die with those guitars.
I will probably die. I have in my will to be buried with them all too.
See? Yeah.
And
his wife and children.
Well, I'm having a Viking death for them. They're just going to be burned on a ship without me because I want the guitars buried with me.
Cool.
But I want a big neon sign saying there's tens of thousands of dollars worth of guitars down here. Dig if you dare. And see if people come. Now I'll have like sort of like traps. And
I was going to say, we're going to have like booby traps?
Yeah, but like funny ones like toot spray and stuff. I don't want to kill anybody or hurt anybody. I just want them to smell bad.
Fair enough.
Like, that's fair.
Fair enough.
I'm thinking around, like, what are some other great deals? God, even like, I mean, the BC Rich, that Warlock bass I had, I traded that for a case.
Oh, wow.
Somebody wanted a case. I was like, yeah. I mean, like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, that's all I want. I'm like, okay, I have this. I'm like, I'll trade you. The case is worth a lot less than the bass wasn't worth that much then either, I guess.
Yeah.
He's wanted that, and then.
I mean, because, I've never been one of those, like, I've never found, like, a crazy vintage thing for, like, $10. I got this 65 Strat or whatever. Yeah, I've never experienced that, per se.
I mean, I guess the best deal I've ever had was, and this one I give props to this gentleman, because it wasn't a deal, it was just by a kind gentleman who gave me a 1941 Martin that's not family, but it's because, like, the relationships I have with the community and the charities I work with, I think he's sort of seen that.
Yeah.
And he has no kids that play guitar, don't care about it, didn't want to sell it. And, like, I asked if I could buy it from him when he was giving it to me. He wanted to give it to me as a gift. I was like, I can't take this. And it's worth, but he's like, no, if you pay for it, it's not a gift anymore. And he wanted to give a gift. And, like, so I make it my duty. Like, I let anybody see it and play it within reason if you're not, like, coming to destroy guitars. But
yeah. You're amazing.
Yeah, play this guitar, hold this guitar. It's amazing.
I had something sort of similar to that as well. When I was a kid, a guy gave me, we talked about, I think it was on the guy's podcast's YouTube channel we were on the other day, and he asked about our first guitars. But a guy gave me, I took a job working for this guy at a local, like, oil changing station.
I remember that.
Because he was a guitar player, he knew that I was trying to learn, or that I was learning. I had the Squire Strat, and he gave me a Gibson Les Paul, like those old,
That's really cool.
It was really cool to me as a 16, 17-year-old. And then he's like, if you ever just want to sell it, you just come back to me. And then I'd moved to Charleston. I was trying to start doing these acoustic gigs, and I was like, hey, I think I'm going to trade this guitar for an acoustic, or sell it for an acoustic. I was, bringing it to, give it back to you kind of thing. And he was like, no, go trade it for an acoustic. So I traded that for my first acoustic guitar.
That's cool. Yeah. My first acoustic guitar is off in the ethosphere somewhere. I let one student borrow it sometime, and he disappeared in it.
What was your first acoustic?
It was like a Sears and Roebuck nylon string, like 3/4 size.
Mine was an Oscar Smith.
Oh, I didn't even have a name. It did, but I have no idea. I did get it. My first nylon classical was a Yamaha. I paid $60 for it at a garage sale.
Yep.
And I still have it hanging on the wall.
That's cool.
The camera's left.
Yeah.
Somewhere in this room, I think. Yeah, I think I see it over there with the broken string on it right
there
now.
it is.
But it's kind of funny finding those little deals and stuff in life. And there's few and far in between now.
I think that's true.
The internet has destroyed that.
In a lot of ways.
You'll find a lot of times there's forgeries out there, like the fake Gibsons and Chibsons and
right.
the fake Martins, and we call them Chartons.
So you have to be a little more. Sure.
I don't know. I'm not hip.
Chart for short. So you have to be more careful these days if you find a deal like that, I suppose.
More careful.
More carefuler.
That's what you gotta be. But anyway, these are some of the deals we've had in life, and like, share your experiences when you found these great, like, bargains, and I've had just as much fun not getting a bargain and paying full price for things that I've found joy in.
Sometimes.
Which I found quite a few things. Getting a bargain's great.
However.
But I know when I pay for something like I do, I love it even more in some ways.
I've never thought about that really, but that's true. There's some truth to that.
Because, like, I put my equity, my time equity, my work into something, and I paid cash for that thing, and that's my thing.
It's very, very character building content today.
Thanks.
Very.
That's all we got today. Good luck out there in the real world.
There you go.
Avoid it if you can.
We don't want to hear your character building things in the comments. We want to hear times when you got amazing, crazy deals. So, like, if you found a 1954 Telecaster and someone gave it to you for $10, we want to hear about it in the comments. Tell us.
Tell us.
Share. It would be.
Great, Rob.
There you go. Hit like and subscribe if you have not already. Click that bell so you don't miss videos in the future. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.